That's a good throw.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an emergency broadcast.
Let me do this. I talked about him the most since he got drafted by the Steelers. So the last piece of Steeler information I'll ever have to talk about him, I'll do it. There's no point in raising my voice. There's really no point. This is also under half an hour notice. We thought of it. We also decided that the March Madness special should be about the March Madness special only. And if there's any other NFL news we can talk about, we will. So obviously, what did you say?
Just quick preface, we are here on this beautiful Friday evening at 7:30 p.m.
Yes.
recording this.
Yes, it's a reason why we're going old school, and it's just the two of us.
Yeah, for real.
Well, obviously, as if you paid attention to my Instagram story, and you should know the reason why we're here doing this. Kenny Pickett was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Some shit does not add up.
Oh.
It doesn't add up.
No, not at all.
Let's get the first part out of the way. Russell Wilson was more than likely always going to start. You can make the argument, and it's true, Kenny was not good last year. Yeah, okay. Mostly because of Matt Canada. However, and I know I'm gonna get shit in the comments for this. I know I will. And no, we did not plan this. We literally just wore green because we're close to St. Patty's.
Yep.
This is my opinion, and of course, as young gentlemen going into the media world, we are going to have takes that people are going to hate. And this wide shot is weird, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lean forward. That's how prepared we are. So I just want to say this out of the way now. I know I'm going to get hate for this, but I don't care. They set him up for failure. I'm sorry. Some of you Steeler fans may not want to hear it, and you can make the argument, well, this, well, that. Sure. But you can make the argument that he was set up for failure. Alex, can you name if we did another tier list podcast, right? Who in the NFL right now is in the S tier?
Current starting quarterbacks?
Current starting quarterbacks.
Probably just Pat. Probably just Patrick Mahomes, honestly.
But you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Other than Mahomes, Lamar, maybe Josh Allen, most likely a healthy Joe Burrow. Name me a quarterback that can succeed in that situation. Didn't they just do that, minus the offensive coordinator part, didn't they just do this to Mason?
Yeah.
And by the way, he's gone too. Which begs the question, if Russell Wilson does not pan out, what then? Do we eat, and this isn't my opinion, this is just me asking questions. Do we trust Mike Tomlin to develop another quarterback after he just failed to do it with Kenny Pickett? Partially it was Kenny Pickett, his fault. But it wasn't all his fault. He wasn't put in a good spot, like I said. Do you trust Mike Tomlin? You said he's a defensive guy, which is good, true.
Yeah, I have such a hard time knowing where I stand with Mike Tomlin. because I hate the way he treats the media, and I hate the way he interacts with the media, and I think he's so phony macho sometimes about certain things, but like, I don't know. As a defensive-minded coach, it's not really his job to develop the quarterback. It's his job to make sure that he has staff that can develop a quarterback. So I think that if they're gonna draft another quarterback, which I would imagine would definitely be happening if Russ doesn't work out,
I would hope so. I would hope so.
I would just hope that we had someone who was, you know, capable of developing that quarterback. But I don't know if we do, at least right now.
If Russ sucks, do you think that's it for Mike Tomlin?
Steelers never do anything on time. Now, if Mike Tomlin has, like, by far his worst season, I mean, his worst season ever is, like, 8-8. So if something crazy happens this year, which, by the way, this is not going to happen, but say by some insane thing happening, Russ being historically awful or something, and we go, 3-14, maybe. Because it would be such a major, exactly.
I wish.
It would be such a major drop off from anything he's done before, but other than that, I don't think it would be, honestly.
I want to preface this, by the way. Yes, I love Kenny because of Pitt. I got a little too attached to Kenny. But I am a Steeler fan through and through. Do I want Kenny to succeed in whatever way he can? Yes. Just like I wanted Aaron Donald to succeed when he got drafted by the Rams. Just like I wanted Tyler Boyd to succeed when he got drafted by the Bengals. Same thing here. Same thing with Kalijah Kancey, who just got drafted.
Yeah.
I want Russ to pan out. I want us to win. I almost swore. I want the Steelers to win the Super Bowl. Trust me, I do. I'm just questioning why. And something does not add up here. Kenny is a competitor. He was fine with the competition. Trust me. What happened in 2 weeks where it was a complete, actually not even 2 weeks, in a month or a few months when Mike Tomlin said there was going to be competition? What happened in that time to cause a complete 180 turn? I am not reporting this. I'm not saying this is true. If I had to guess, and this could backfire on me, and I could be looking like the biggest idiot here, but I'm just guessing, and we're just guessing. If I had to put a guess on it, my guess was that there was never going to be a competition.
Yeah.
And Kenny stood no chance. No matter how much work he was putting in with Arthur Smith, it does not matter. I don't think there was going to be a competition to begin with. He's not even going to see the field in Philly unless Jalen Hurts gets hurt.
No.
He's not going to see the field. So he was traded into in my opinion, a worse situation. But it could help him. Look what happened with Mason Rudolph. He sat all of those years. Look what he did last year, and look where he is now, which he signed with the Titans, by the way. That's possible. So I don't know. It is going to be a while before we see Kenny Pickett again on the field starting in the NFL. He's going to be in the NFL. He's going to be in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know when we would ever see him start again, barring an injury.
It would have to be a Mason Rudolph run.
Yeah, because I
think Mason Rudolph could play over Will Levis and Malik.
He could definitely play over Malik. No doubt about that one.
Oh, for sure. That's another guy who I think would have been in a bad situation too in Pittsburgh as well. Malik.
Oh, there's so many guys that would have been.
Yeah.
But so for those of you that don't know or haven't seen the details yet, It was Kenny and pick 120 for pick 98 and 2025 seventh round picks.
Very good return, I'll say.
Moving up 20 spots
Yeah,
in the mid rounds and
Absolutely.
then getting 2 day 3 picks.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. I like the return. It was a good trade for the Steelers, I will say. It was a good trade for the Steelers.
I do think it's strange. The 2 7th round picks aren't really much, but giving up 98 I thought would be a little bit much for a guy that is just going to be a backup quarterback, but I don't know. I guess it was a pick swap, so it didn't really matter as much, but I don't know. I just tweeted while Mike was sitting here kind of monologuing about how this just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense.
It's just very strange, especially with the talk from the Steelers about how they had full faith in Kenny. This is coming from the GM himself.
Pretty much Tomlin too.
Yeah, they had faith in Kenny. There was going to be legitimate competition. There was going to be an even competition in the quarterback room, and they were going to battle it out all training camp and all preseason for the starting job, basically. And just all of a sudden, just bam, dealt away like that. So, like Mike said, I guess the only thing that makes logical sense is that there was never going to be a quarterback competition, and they were just saying that. But why would they keep saying that to the media?
Were they confident? Well, it's Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, but still, it's just a blatant lie.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. There's something else going on.
There is. I can't say yet, but there is.
So weird.
Mike Tomlin botched this.
Yeah.
He botched this.
Now I will say, again, even though he was under Matt Canada.
Which, by the way, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but you're fine.
But there's also a part here saying that Kenny found out on social media. Now, I don't know if that's true, but if it is, you've got to be shitting me. You've got to be shitting me.
Yeah, no, that's unbelievable mismanagement if that's the way that worked out.
Seriously. So I don't blame Kenny for requesting it, which he did request the trade. He did request it. He did request it. I don't blame him. I don't blame him if that's true. And I don't know. It is the best possible move for Kenny, regardless of where he's traded to. He gets out of the toxic fan base because they were toxic. You shouldn't have to be divided as Steeler fans on a player. He's on the Steelers. There you go. And he gets out of the situation he was put in. But something doesn't add up because he's a competitor and he would have competed for that job.
Yeah,
there has to be more.
Just
there has to be more.
This is the thing that frustrates me about the Steelers so much, is they couldn't just handle it like a normal football team would. This happens all the time now. Even though they were under Matt Canada for a good portion of his first year and a half in the league, and then he was hurt once Matt Canada was fired. A lot of teams, even in that situation, if they don't think that they're getting enough out of their quarterback and their first-round pick of a quarterback, will move off of him after 2 seasons. This is a very normal thing now. I don't understand why this situation was so convoluted and so, just strange in the first place. Teams do this all the time. They move off of their young quarterbacks the moment that they think that they're not getting what they need out of them, and the moment they think that they're not what they thought they were in the draft. Oh wow, that scoring picked up quick. But yeah, it's so dumb to me that the Steelers can't just handle these situations like a normal franchise. It happens. If you looked at his first year and a half and thought he's not going to develop in what we thought he could, then just say that and move on. That's fine. Teams do it all the time. Don't do this.
I think
it's ridiculous.
It is. They just handled this situation poorly.
Yeah, don't go doing all this insisting that you have faith, your full faith is in him. There's going to be a quarterback competition. Don't do all that. If you look at him after a year and a half and say, he's just not what we thought he was going to be, just say that. It's not that hard. Because I didn't think so either. watching some film breakdown from some of the quarterback film channels that I watch on YouTube and stuff like that, watching some of the plays that they broke down and some of his struggles at finding open reads, especially over the middle of the field, that's fine. They are coaching him every day. They have access to more of that film than anyone else. They know firsthand whether or not they think that he's going to be the guy or not, or whether or not he can develop into that guy. And they just refused to just accept what reality was for them. Because reality for them was that they wanted to move on from him.
Just completely botched.
Just ridiculous. It's so...
Just botched. And
It's such a poor look for such a largely well-known and well-liked franchise. Like, besides the fan base, because our fans are absolutely insufferable a lot of the time, but like the organization itself is immensely respected by the general population, by everybody, everyone.
And I wanna backtrack on something. The Steeler fans were divided on this. But there also are Steeler fans that were fair about this. So I do want to backtrack on that. That part I said may have been a little unfair. So I just want to backtrack on that real quick. But, let me ask you this question now. How many quarterbacks has Mike Tomlin developed?
None.
Because he was handed...
He had Ben for so long.
Exactly. Because he was handed the keys to the kingdom with Ben Roethlisberger. And what did we say about the 2009 Super Bowl win?
It was Cowher's team.
Exactly. Do we still stand by that?
Oh, I do. A lot of people.
Do we?
A lot of people, for some reason, want to disagree with that when it's factually true. Like that team was built by him. Like Tomlin did not really add any players to that team.
In terms of what's going to happen now with the Steelers, I still think we can be a very good football team with Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It's just the handling of Kenny Pickett was just botched because you wasted a first-round draft pick.
Yep.
That's what we're angry about.
Yeah.
Is the botch of Kenny.
And because that's the thing, I'll say it. He had a great final season at Pitt, and I think it was magical. I personally... Probably if I would have watched deeper into the film and evaluated, I probably wouldn't have spent a first-round pick. I definitely actually would not have spent a first-round pick on him. Even though he had that crazy last season and all that, I wouldn't have. I think this is another classic case of the Steelers caught up in the... I almost swore too. And the Steelers getting caught up in the culture and the media's opinions and the storyline, rather than being clear-minded and making a smart decision. I actually, you know what? We're gonna do a little exercise. Not really an exercise.
Which, by the way, the media that was trashing on Kenny were having a field day today.
Oh yeah, I know.
And I actually read the comments under Mark Madden's tweet. There's some tweets that are because Madden was, of course, taking a lap or whatever. Though again, I can promise you this: the thing about the Seattle thing was still BS. So get over that. There's some comments that were like, dude, shut up.
Yeah, so let's take a look at some of the guys that were taken in the first round after Kenny Pickett. Again, I don't want to do this to like trash on Kenny, but let's just look at some of the guys that they could have drafted the 12 spots after they picked Kenny. They could have drafted Trent McDuffie, first team All-Pro corner. Tyler Smith, very good interior offensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys. Pro Bowl left guard, I believe. Tyler Linderbaum, very talented, Pro Bowl caliber offensive lineman for the Ravens. Those are the big ones. And then even into the second round, Breece Hall, Christian Watson, Jalen Petrie, Kenneth Walker. There's some guys on this board that they could have taken. But again, they were caught up in the, oh my God, he's a Pitt quarterback. The last time there was a really, really good Pitt quarterback, it was Dan Marino, and we passed on him because we thought the fact that he smoked weed was just absolutely unacceptable. So they had to they literally, I guarantee you, at least one person was thinking they had to make up for that by taking the next good Pitt quarterback. I guarantee you, it was part of it. Because that's how stupidly story-driven the Steelers' management is. It's ridiculous.
This is how mad we are. I'm taking these off, and he doesn't care.
No. I would take him off, too.
Bottom line.
This is the moment that makes any human being on Earth feel like they need to smoke a cigarette right here.
Joe's raising his hand. Joe, how long have we gone? Oh, he's trying to look. Anyway.
No, yeah, this moment's like the meme of that dude sitting there with his head down with a cigarette in his hand like this. You know what I'm talking about?
The clock, the red clock is just the thing that should tell you how long we've gone.
Oh, it's frozen.
It's frozen. Anyway, we'll wrap this up.
Yeah.
But regardless, they botched it. They botched Kenny Pickett. I would not trust them to try to develop any of the young quarterbacks in the draft this year. I just wouldn't.
No.
So,
and I don't even know, like, would they spend their first on a quarterback, or would they spend...
I would still draft the center, regardless.
If he's there, if Jackson Powers-Johnson is there at 20, or whatever
Absolutely.
we pick at. No,
Absolutely.
what do we pick at, like 15 or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah. If Jackson Powers-Johnson is there at like 15, then absolutely take him. But, I mean, if there's a... Do you think they might in the second round? If they don't trade for Justin Fields, which is still a possibility, by the way.
Which, by the way, they should be calling Chicago right now.
They should be.
They should be calling...
Because people are saying it on Twitter right now, pick 98 could be enough at this point. The one that we just got from Philly.
Yeah.
Like, that pick at this point, because of all the other quarterbacks signing other places, Kirk and all those guys going other places.
Pitt leads North Carolina at the half.
Wow.
That could cheer me up. But
Yeah, pick 98 could be enough for Justin Fields. So
it could.
either that or, like, I wouldn't draft Michael Penix because I think he's too old and too injury prone. Joe Milton or a guy like that, you know.
But anyway, again, we're going to preface this. They botched Kenny completely. I still think the Steelers could be a very good team next year. Well, I guess this year.
Yeah.
And the Browns still have the worst quarterback in the division.
That makes me happy.
I know. So, there we go. Deontay got traded. Go ahead. Perfect way to end the emergency episode. I'll get this up in like probably like an hour from now.
Goodbye, America.
Mm-hmm.